Iran reportedly launches first military satellite as Trump makes threats. The Noor was launched by a three-stage rocket and, according to Iran officials, had reached a 425 km high orbit. Iran has claimed it has put its first military satellite into orbit, further raising tensions with the U.S. at a time the two countries are already facing off in the Persian Gulf. Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps (IRGC) said the satellite Noor was in a 425 km (264 miles) high orbit, after a successful launch. Iran launched its first civilian satellite in 2009. It came on the day Donald Trump went on Twitter to announce he had ordered the U.S. Navy to shoot down and destroy any and all Iranian gunboats if they harass our ships at sea, following an incident in which nearly a dozen small Iranian boats had steered within a few yards of U.S. warships. The Pentagon said it was too early to say whether the Iranian satellite launch had been successful, but the North American Aerospace Defense Command (NORAD) issued a new code designator for an orbiting object which appeared consistent with Noor. "I consider that this confirms that the Iranian satellite successfully reached orbit," Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, commented on Twitter. The Noor satellite was launched by a three-stage rocket which the IRGC said was powered by a combination of solid and liquid fuels. The U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said the launch violated a 2015 UN Security Council resolution. Mike said that he thinks every nation has an obligation to go to the United Nations and evaluate whether this missile launch was consistent with that Security Council resolution. He also said that he don't think it remotely is, and he thinks Iran needs to be held accountable for what they have done. The 2015 UN resolution Pompeo was referring to was intended to endorse a nuclear deal with Iran that the US abrogated in 2018. The resolution said, Iran is called upon not to undertake any activity related to ballistic missiles designed to be capable of delivering nuclear weapons, including launches using such ballistic missile technology. Trump went on Twitter on Wednesday to declare, "I have instructed the United States Navy to shoot down and destroy any and all Iranian gunboats if they harass our ships at sea." The tweet came a week after 11 IRGC speed boats deliberately cut across the paths of U.S. warships patrolling the Gulf, one of them coming within 10 yards in what U.S. Central Command called dangerous and harassing approaches. The Trump tweet does not appear to have marked a change of U.S. posture in the Gulf by changing the circumstances in which the U.S. would open fire. But General John Hyten, the vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, welcomed Trump's threat. "I like that the president warned an adversary. That's what he's doing," said Hyten. "He's providing a warning. If you want to go down that path, we will come and we will come large." Hyten warned the Iranian gunboats, "If you're waving, that's one thing, if you have a gun, and you point it at me, that's another thing, we know exactly what that means. So, if you cross that line, we know what that line is, and we will respond."